friends, welcome back to the Common Sense Grandma. My name is Michelle, and today we are going to make elderberry syrup. Now, I have seen videos like this on YouTube the last few years. In fact, that's why I know how to make this. I think this is probably my fourth time making it. And I don't know about you folks, if you have had some cold and flu hit your home. We did in December. Granddaughter had it for about a week, and then my husband was down for 10 days. And I wish I had had some elderberry syrup in the freezer. That's what I do, is I make a big batch. In fact, today we will be doubling it. And I put it in the little 1-cup mason jars, and I put it in the refrigerator. I do believe that you can water bath can it, but because we are using raw honey, I prefer not to heat up the honey too high, because that takes away from, some of the good healthy properties of honey. And the recipe I have used, let me get it here. It is from Happy Healthy Mama, and I will be sure to link this recipe in the notes down below. But again, like I've said, I think this is at least my fourth time making this, and I actually gift it to friends and family if they're sick. And the way we take it is if somebody's starting to get sick or in the house, or maybe we're just not quite feeling up to par, or for me in the winter, I take a spoonful every morning. It actually tastes really, really good. The ingredients are elderberries, which I bought these on YouTube. I wish we had an elderberry tree, but I do not. I'm using ground cloves today. Normally I use whole cloves, but I couldn't find any in the cupboard. Stick cinnamon. You can also use regular, cinnamon. And then raw honey. And I just poured this from my big jar of raw honey from Azure Standard. And also ginger, it's back here. I chopped up some ginger. You can use ginger powder. You can buy ginger that you buy in the tube, which honestly, I have that in my fridge. I use it all the time. If I need ginger in a pinch, I do use that. But for this recipe, I prefer to use fresh ginger that I cut up myself. So I know, just in case there's not something else in there, I don't know, I just want it really clear as to what it is. And then I'm doing 6 cups of water, because the recipe calls for 3 cups of water, and I'm doubling it. So the real recipe is 3/4 cup dried elderberries. So this is one, and this is exactly what I had in a jar. I was so happy. There's 1.5 cups. 3 cups of water, a teaspoon of dried cinnamon or 1 cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon of dried cloves or 4 whole cloves, or 1 drop of clove essential oil, 1 tablespoon fresh ginger or 1 teaspoon dried, or 1 drop of ginger essential oil, and then 1 cup of raw honey. So I've had this stove quite a few years, and I had to go on YouTube to remember how to use it, because I have barely used it. Yay, it came on. So I'm gonna put my pan on here, and it does take a while to cook. So once I get it going, I'm not gonna have you watch the whole time, but let's get the water in. In fact, I will probably go move it to my regular stove during the time that we're waiting for it to cook. Then we put in our elderberry, and I need to look at the instructions. Okay, in a large pot, bring the elderberries, water, cinnamon, cloves, and ginger to a boil. You don't want to put your honey in, because you don't want it so hot. You don't want to boil the honey, which is why we do it this way. I think it said, yeah. So again, I'm doubling, so I'm putting in 2 teaspoons. And then we're going to put ginger. I cut up a little bit too much. That's okay. I can use ginger tonight in dinner. I don't know what I'm making yet, but I can always just put it back in the refrigerator or freeze it. So we bring this to a boil, and then we're going to boil it for 30 to 40 minutes until it is reduced by half. And you know, I know you can buy elderberry, especially we've taken in a pinch the elderberry gummies, but I'm not always crazy about what's in those, the ingredients of the gummy things. Not a fan of that. So I prefer to make it myself. It does not cost that much. For how much you're making, it's very, very affordable. And you know how I got this idea? There was a gal in Redlands. We live in Loma Linda, but there was a gal in Redlands who was making this. And she was selling it at a vegan store. I think I saw it on Instagram or Facebook or something. And I thought, oh, that sounds great. But it was $20 for a little bottle. And I thought, well, for $20, I'm pretty sure I can make a lot more of that myself. And she ended up having a baby and decided not to continue, which if I were in her shoes, I would do the same thing. I had 3 kids in 3 years, the first 3. I know what that's like. You don't have time to do anything else but be a mama. So I don't blame her for taking a time out there. But what we're gonna do is let this cook. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why we take elderberry. And I'm going to use the word may instead of it will, because I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing with you what we do in our house and how it has worked and helped before. And so it may boost the immune system, fight and protect against bacterial infections, fight and protect against viral infections. It may reduce the symptoms and duration of a cold or the flu. It's a natural diuretic effect and promotes bowel movements. I did not know that. That's new information. It does have anti-inflammatory properties. I do know that. Anti-carcinogenic properties. It may ease symptoms of allergies. I hope so. High in antioxidants, and it's high in vitamin A, which makes it great for healthy skin. And I think, I've never tried this because I don't drink that much alcohol, but I think it would make an excellent base for a cocktail. Have to try that sometime. I don't think I have anything on hand to make a cocktail with it, but I think it would be really good. It actually is very delicious. And we kind of have a thing in our house in the morning when we have this on hand, is whenever anybody comes in the kitchen, first thing, they get a spoonful of this. And it just, you know, it's very simple. And if you already have a cold or flu, I would do it a little bit differently. I would take a teaspoon every few hours and let it just get in your system. And it, you know, it really has helped. I know it's helped in our home. Nobody minds taking it. It's not, it doesn't taste bad. It tastes delicious. I like it. I mean, I hope you like ginger. If you don't, then I don't know. But it's not bad. It's actually delicious. And you know, I can't believe this, but it's almost coming to a boil. Wow. So what we're going to do, I'm gonna let this boil for 30 to 40 minutes, lid off, so it will reduce. And then we will put it through a strainer and kind of mash it a little bit to make sure we're getting everything possible. And then put it back in the pan, but without the heat on, no heat. And then pour in the honey. And then it will be kind of syrupy. And then I will put it in jars. I actually had to order some jars from Walmart today. They're delivering it. I had given out so many gifts at Christmas of the 1-cup jars, the little half pints, because I prefer to store it that way. I've heard this can keep 6 months in the refrigerator. I would not do that. I just don't think that's a good idea. Honey does help with making things last longer, but I don't keep it that long. That's why I put it in the 1-cup jars, the half pints, and then I can also give it out to my kids and, you know, whoever might need it, my neighbors, whoever is sick. So I will bring you back when we are ready to strain it. See you soon. I cooked the elderberries for 35 minutes on the stove. I actually used my stove over there, and it has reduced by half. You can see it right here. And so now we're going to pour it using this so it can strain, and then we'll add the honey. You know, I'm wondering if I should use a bigger, maybe I'll use a bowl. Okay, we'll go with the big one. Are any of you dangerous at the Pyrex Corningware store like me? I haven't been for a long time because I just can't help myself. I buy it all. I also collect beautiful, I have a lot of old Corningware. So this did not make that much, even though we used 6 cups of water. Wow, it really reduced. Oh, making a mess. See if I can get my spoon to get some of this out. I don't want to waste any. And I don't know if you know anything about elderberries, but you cannot eat them raw. I don't remember what it is that's in there, but they have to be cooked well. You just can't go up to an elderberry tree and nibble on them. They need to be cooked. So, since I cooked for them for 35 minutes, that is fine. Okay, I think we got it all. There. So, I'll mash these up a little bit. This strainer is not the best. They're jumping out. They don't want to go in. I just don't want to waste any. Now, I want to mention that I've seen some people add the juice of a lemon, which I think is a very good idea. I didn't want to try it this time because I want to follow the recipe exactly as it's written. But I think the next time I make this, I will add the juice of a lemon. I have a lot of lemons right now. I have a dwarf Meyer lemon tree and it is loaded. Do I dare pour it? Probably not. I don't know. I just think I'll probably spill it. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Totally ahead of myself. I need to add the honey. Don't mind me. Friends, it is so windy here. It was windy all last night. We're having the Santa Ana north winds. And we live up on a hill by the hospital. It's all right there. And it usually protects us from having wind. We don't usually have that much wind here, but not last night or today. And the Labrador has been going nuts. She had the zoomies a few minutes ago. While I was letting this boil down, I was able to finish taking the rest of the decorations off the Christmas tree. I'm not one to let the Christmas tree stay up this long, but I just have had a busy week. And honestly, when my husband's home, he's home, of course, the weekend and Mondays and Thursdays, I don't get anything done. We just kind of spend the day together, and that's okay. I don't mind. I always tell him, I go, when you're home, I am so lazy. I did make all our meals. We did not eat out. That's good. But I'm a little bit lazy when he's home. Now, boy, these berries are sticking on my hands. I want to add a little bit of this to my honey pitcher here. Just making sure I get it all. I don't want to waste. Okay, that looks good. And this is syrupy now due to the honey. This looks so good. Yeah, I got quite a bit out. Okay, much better, except that the honey is on the bottom. In other recipes I've seen, besides adding lemon, they've added cayenne. And I've never made fire cider. Tell me in the comments below if you have. I think it's a really good idea, and I will definitely make it next fall. But another recipe I've used for cold, not really cold prevention, more like a sore throat, is on the stove. You put in some, by the way, I use filtered water today. Make sure you use filtered water so you know it's really clean. Use filtered water, a lot of garlic, ginger, either hot peppers or cayenne, things like that. And you boil it down, and then you use that for a sore throat, and it's really good. And that has helped us also. I don't remember the exact recipe. I'm gonna have to find it. I actually haven't made that in years because I've been using this one. I managed to not get sick this time. I was very determined. I don't have time for that, but here we go. I'll fill these jars. And what do I have here? I've got 4 cups. Okay, cool. I will make 4 of these. That's great. So I ran all the lids and rings through the dishwasher. Also, I ran this all through the dishwasher. And I'm going to use the lids that came with it because I don't care for them when I'm canning. I use the 4 jars, but I want to taste this. Curious how it's going to taste. Clean spoon. That is so good. It's kind of addictive. It's very, very good. So I don't need to waste your time watching me fill all these jars. I thought I would insert this here of how much it actually made. It made more than the 4 half pints than I thought it would. So this is really nice. It made quite a bit. So we have 5 half pints and then this tiny, isn't that a darling little jar? I don't even know where I got it, but I use this small little one to put in the refrigerator right now. But it made more than I thought, and I started out with 6 cups of water, reduced it down, and then added, I guess it's because of adding the 2 cups of honey, it brought it back up. And I do think next time I am going to put some cayenne. I think a little bit of heat in there would be really nice. Anyway, I just wanted you to see how much it actually made. It made quite a bit. So here we go. Even though I have a mess, that's okay. There we go. So, even though the counter's a mess, that's okay. We're cooking for real here. There you go. And again, bye.